What's up, Vankers?
Hello, Vangas.
How is everybody doing?
How are you doing? Because let me tell you one thing. You're not doing as good as us today because I'm technically not in the studio and I'm feeling mad, hashtag FOMO, as the kids would say. But I'm in New York. We have two-time IndyCar champion in the studio with Matt. In LA, Alex Palou, welcome to the Red Flags podcast.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to have you physically in the room and to be physically in your presence. It's so much different than it would have been.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lot better.
Yeah,
I like it.
You have such a glow.
The voice.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It's a podcast voice, right?
We're really connecting, and can we just turn away from Brian for a second?
Stop
Let's
it!
choose you and me.
This is so
He's
cruel.
not here. He's in New York.
Yeah.
Like, we don't like him.
This is cruel and unusual. Cruel and unusual, both things at once.
Yes. If you can get interviewed as you're doing your warm-up lap,
Yeah.
on your way to win a championship, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, actually. Yeah. It was the first time this year, though.
For those of you who don't know, the IndyCar drivers get interviewed as they're doing their little tire warm-up, as they're approaching the grid where they need to be 100% focused. They're about to start a race. Yeah. And they're like, so Alex, how are you feeling about your chances of winning your second? No pressure, right? And you're like, you have to give your PR. This is easy, right? You're just sitting on your ass. You're not moving.
Now it's easy. It's easy. I mean, I have a little bit of attention here and there, but no, honestly, that felt really weird. I mean, you have only like 3 laps to get ready, to get the tires ready, to get all your controls ready, like everything, the mindset, and then suddenly they are like, hey, Alex, how are you doing? Are you ready? How are you going to do this?
I was ready, and now you're asking me about like what you think my odds are as I'm literally approaching the checker flag.
Exactly. But it was fun, right? Like,
oh, no. I was just like, oh my God, how does he stay focused? Because I think they talked to you in Portland, right?
Yeah, in Portland. And they actually told me so we do 3 parade laps.
Yes.
So they told me they were going to do it on the first one. They did it on the third one, on the last one. And I was like, oh my God, I have like 45 seconds. Leave me alone. But it was cool. I think it was cool and also good for the fans. So.
Yes, no, I was at the edge of my seat. I'm like, how is he doing this right now? I would totally be in my own head.
Yeah, you're like taking selfies right before you get into the car. I mean, like in terms of like the mindset of like all of that kind of stuff while staying focused. I mean, are you thinking at all about what you're saying in the car when they radio in? Or are you literally just like, yeah, cool, okay, fuck off. I need to win this championship now, please. Thank you very much.
No, I actually had to speak quite a lot. They were like, it was an open question of like how you feel. It was not like yes or no. So I had to actually talk and think about it. But I mean, growing up in Europe, you're used to just like being in the zone for like 40 minutes before you jump in the car. Nobody like touches you. Nobody is able to get close to you. And then here it's the opposite, which I think it's super fun. I mean, you know that all the drivers are going to have to deal with the same thing. So it's quite cool. Yeah,
but the better you do, the more they want to talk to you. And, anyway, it's a good problem to have. I guess.
It's a good issue to have. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, for those of you who don't know, this guy is out here dominating, like in equal machinery. Some people argue about that, but compared to another race, another series we're not going to talk about, it's equal. So he's just out here teaching these guys a lesson.
He's got a 50% championship rate going on right now in IndyCar. I mean, we're gonna ask you a bunch of stuff, but like, how has this year been for you? Because like in the start, you weren't dominating this from the start, but then you went on that run. You won, I think, 5 out of 6, and arguably, we'll get into the Indy 500, but like that was the race where you were right there. Like, how was the roller coaster of this year?
This year was amazing. I mean, we started okay. We didn't start bad, but we didn't start like amazing. But yeah, after 3-4 races, we started just putting that 6th gear, and everything felt all right for us. So we had really fast cars. My team did an amazing job all season on giving me everything I needed, and we just felt really, really good. So I'm a little bit sad that this season ended, because I know it's not usual to have like 10 podiums in like 17 races, because you never know when it's going to happen again. But still, it was 10 out of 10 year.
So how do you think Alex Palou, the second time IndyCar champion, compares to Alex Palou, first time IndyCar champion?
I mean, when I won my first IndyCar championship in 21, it was my second year in the series.
Yeah.
And 2020 was with COVID, so we didn't really visit all the tracks. So I was still learning. It was my first year with the team. But yeah, this year I felt just a bit more at home and knowing everything I had to do. So yeah, this year felt more like normal year.
Yeah, and when you win the second year, a championship, you beat the likes of Dixon and Power and all these legends. You wanted to do this your whole life, and then you beat them your second year. I asked Rossi this when he won his Indy 500 so quickly. I'm like, was part of you like, I thought this was supposed to be hard?
It's hard. It's still hard.
No, but were you a little disappointed at how quickly it happened?
No, not at all. Not at all, man. Okay. No, I was happy that it happened.
Of course you were happy.
Yes.
You were like, damn, I thought this was going to be a challenge.
I mean, it's a challenge while you're doing it. Even when you win, it's like, oh, it was hard. But yeah.
Of course it's hard, but were you pinching yourself? Like second year?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I didn't think that it was going to happen that fast. Yeah. I didn't expect that, but we started actually the year winning, and it was like, oh, okay, so we're here to win. But I mean, when the team gives you everything you need to win, you need to take it. You cannot be like, oh no, we'll be P5 and be happy and like, yeah.
And you spoke before about how much Scott Dixon has been such a mentor to you, and how much he helped you that first year in his little weird ways that he wins. That it's like, I mean, he did it in Laguna.
Yeah, Sunday.
You see him crash in the beginning. You're like, well, he's done.
Yeah, he's done. You don't look at him anymore.
And then he wins the race. I'm like, how did this happen? And he gave you a little bit of the special sauce your first year. Yeah,
and even now, honestly,
even now, even after you won the first championship, he didn't say, "Okay, I think you got this."
He's an open book, honestly. Yeah, really? I'm very lucky. Yeah, he's a legend. He won 6 times the IndyCar championship. So he's like having the god of podcasts with you for you. Like right here, and you can ask him everything.
So he's like, who is that, Rogan? Or so you're saying that Dixon is like Rogan? No, I'm kidding.
Better than that, yeah. Better than Rogan. But yeah, he's very good. He like everything I may ask him, he's gonna answer. Hopefully, he's telling me the truth. It's working.
He's like, you would have been beating me by 1,000 points if I was actually telling you the real shit.
Yeah, he's like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm telling you hashtag misinformation. We want to talk a little bit about like your story and your career. We've heard a little bit about it, through our own research and our own interviews. But you grew up outside of Barcelona, right? And didn't come. We talk so much about how the world of motorsport is so prohibitively expensive, but you didn't come from a wealthy background, and you just had the love of the game, right?
Yeah, I was. My parents still live at the same house, like 35 minutes from Barcelona, in the middle of nowhere, and nobody in the family was into motorsports before. We couldn't actually afford it, but we were lucky that people were helping us to move like steps, race in Spain and then move to Europe and then move to the world championships in go-karts and then to single seaters. So yeah, I think I've been really lucky to have all that help.
Yeah. So you were like, you had a pretty impressive karting career. I read here, our producer tells us that you were on the same karting team as Carlos Sainz.
Yeah. We're teammates.
Oh my God, what was that like?
Yeah, it was 1 year. It was his first year in go-karts, and we were teammates. We were really young, like I don't know, like.
How did you guys do? You still remember though, right?
A little bit, not much, honestly, but we did really well.
I could imagine that you had a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a good team.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you did pretty well that year. I can imagine. Yeah. But then when you got to single seaters, it got a little bit more challenging.
Yes.
You got knocked back. I think was it in F3?
Yeah.
That was your big wake up call.
Yeah. I mean, we started in single seaters. The first year was amazing. And then it got like, we didn't really get the results we needed to keep on racing, you know?
Right. And you thought your career was you were sending, according to my research, you were sending LinkedIn messages to IndyCar teams.
To Indy Lights.
Teams.
Yeah, like even lower series, yeah.
Wow. And do you remember which teams you sent?
Yeah, like Juncos. Now we race against them. Yeah. But they are the best at the juniors series.
Are they kicking themselves that they didn't answer that LinkedIn? Because
it's tough, honestly. I mean, it's like if you receive an email from a driver, like what do? You just put money and invest on him without knowing anything. Like I wouldn't have done it.
So somewhere in the Juncos LinkedIn inbox is like from 7 years ago or whatever. Is it?
No, they actually responded.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they actually told me that I needed like investment. Like they needed investment from somebody, either from me or from a company that wanted me, or like they needed.
Well, they actually
money.
responded. That's
they responded.
Better than usual out here in Hollywood. So that's amazing. Usually unsolicited messages don't go that well. So that's a win. Yeah, and then you went to Japan.
Yes, I went to Japan. So I didn't really have any more rides in Europe. And my only chance was to go to Japan. It was like a really late call that they offered me like in February, I think. And I got it. And
it seems that, coming from your background, it seemed like you were pretty, from what I've understood, that you were pretty resigned to it, like it ends when it ends, and just feeling sort of blessed with how far you got.
Yeah, I was. I mean, when you come from a family that cannot afford even, I don't know, one day of testing and you're racing a full year, I mean, yeah.
Right, but you hear of people like, Esteban Ocon talks about like how much pressure he felt to like he had to make it to that final rung to justify everything. It doesn't seem like you had that same attitude.
Well, I had a lot of pressure, but I mean, everybody has pressure.
Right.
But we didn't really have the money ourselves, like my family.
Right.
So people were trusting in us to put the money in, and invest on us. And for me, that opportunity of like being able to race on a single seater, it was just amazing. I was trying my best. I was not living life like, it's my dream and that's it. No, I was working and trying to do the best I could. But in Europe, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then in terms of when you got to Indy and you got to the States and you started racing there and it felt like, the stars started to align. Like what were those, are there key moments in terms of that transition that you felt like, oh, this is working for me. Like I'm feeling this, is it something about the car, the lack of the power steering? Like what about IndyCar do you feel like you vibe with so well because you've had such a unbelievable, start to your career here?
Yeah, so when I started, I felt amazing, like during my first testing and stuff. But when I started racing, it was COVID year. We didn't really have all the testing that we used to, so I couldn't get used to. And I was struggling quite a lot, honestly. It was not an easy year. But then we went to Indy 500, my first Indy 500. We qualified in the Fast 9, which is a big deal for us, with Delcon Racing, one of the smaller teams. And that was already a moment where we said, oh, nice. Everything is starting to work. We got a podium that year and some like good races, not amazing results. But it was enough for Ganassi to offer me a ride in 21.
Yeah. And I guess this is probably more of a question for the end, but I can't help it. When you achieve your wildest dreams, like, F1 wasn't even on your radar. You just wanted to race for IndyCar. Now you're here and you've won 2 championships. Like, you've achieved like basically what you wanted to achieve and you're young. Like, how do you what do you do now? Move the goalposts? Like, how do you keep motivated?
I don't know. It's easy. Try and keep winning, right? I mean, this feeling is so nice. Wanna do it more?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should win.
I don't know. It's like everything in life. Once you get it, you like it, you want more.
Okay. So you think the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th championship are going to feel just as good?
Even better.
Even better.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. That's what I feel.
What does Dixon talk? Where's his attitude?
I mean, you can see him, man.
Yeah.
Like he never.
Yeah.
He's never. Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
Terminator.
Yes. So, you can see that it's easy to get motivation. But I don't know if it's easy, but it's doable. I mean.
No, yeah, we asked Newgarden because he had won all the championships, and like the one thing was missing was the
Indy 500,
and then he won it, and I was like, "What now?" He's like, "I just gotta win multiple Indy 500s now." You're like, "Not if I have anything to say about it."
Yeah, wait, hold on. Can we talk about the Indy 5 because we were there?
Yeah.
And
did you like it?
Oh,
that much?
Are you kidding? Why are you surprised?
No, I just want to get information.
Like, it was like Coachella, Super Bowl, and Mad Max
all at the same time.
At the same time.
I saw some stories about you guys.
What do you mean? You saw some?
You were like at Snake Pit at some point.
Yeah.
The pits. You did everything.
So. We did the whole thing.
Yeah,
we did everything but drive.
Like full American costume.
Yes,
I saw that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Thank you.
Hey, I got also my information. Same as you.
Okay.
Yes, I do my
research. You want to interview us? I mean,
yeah. You want me to start?
We like to call ourselves the Alex Palous of the
motorsport
podcasting scene.
Yeah. But wait, so that was you. You were on pole.
Yeah.
At Indy. Then you had this like just completely
devastating
crash in the pits.
DK, who has fucked you over before, I feel like.
Yeah, many times. Yeah, many times. We've been together many times. I like him. Yeah, I like him.
And you don't want to fuck with him. He looks like a tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. Yeah.
I've heard he might be the top in terms of maybe you disagree, if IndyCar did like a UFC.
No. He wouldn't win. I think it would be a tight fight between Newgarden and Dixon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At the moment.
Okay. So, but you get along with him even though you.
Yeah. I mean, I hated him at that moment, but it's like, come on. I mean, what can I do?
So, how do you decompress from a situation like that?
I mean, Indy 500, it's one day.
Right.
It's one race. Everybody wants to win it.
Yeah.
And normally there's stupid things that happen because there's so much pressure for everybody. We were leading, we entered the pit, or maybe we were fourth or fifth at that time. We entered a yellow pit, so I pit because we were on the pole. We are at the front, which normally you are like, there's going to be no issues on your pit. All right, so I do the pit stop. The guy's doing an amazing job, and I'm like, let's go. And then I start going, and I see a car that's facing me, and it's like, and I was like, no, come on.
Yeah.
But nothing. What can you do? I could have done nothing differently there.
I mean, I'm saying, what else could you do? I mean, you could hate Renus for the rest of your life.
I kind of hate him a little bit, but not totally. Like if I see him, I talk with him, and it's all good. No.
Okay, but in the back of your head, there's that little mosquito.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
Come on. It's Indy 500.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But in terms of your feelings, like during the race, like, okay, so like, Aaron, did you see? I don't know if you follow American football at all.
A little bit. I start to get into.
Okay. So like yesterday, Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. It's like the big signing, like there's Super Bowl, implications. 4 plays in, he tears his Achilles. He's out for the year. So 4 plays into the season, and I was watching the game because I'm a Jets fan, so I was like devastated, even though I knew this was gonna happen because everything bad happens to the Jets. But I was thinking about like the rest of the team, and like how do you stay focused when this like thing, this huge implicating thing just happened, and how do you like stay focused on the game? The Jets wound up actually winning that game, but like for the rest of, I just feel like you've put together this, you're
the whole month prep.
The whole month of prep, and then you put it on pole. You're having this great race. This crash happens, and then you finished, I think, fourth in the 500. Yeah. So you were able to kind of like still like keep your head about you and still get a good finish, which then ultimately contributed to your winning the championship. Like, how do you keep your head about you when a frustrating thing like that happens? Like when you're in the car.
I think it was like lap 101 or something like that. So I was like, man, we still have like 99 laps to go. And you never know at the Indy 500. Maybe you can do a different strategy, which we didn't, or you can just start overtaking and hopefully get lucky and still fight for the win. So that's what I wanted. And if that didn't happen, I just wanted as many points as possible for the championship.
Yeah, and these races are so crazy. Are you ever like, wait, who won?
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
That happens to me when I'm watching.
Many times. It's like, what?
What was the wildest one?
I would say, I don't know.
Laguna was
Indy Road
wild.
Course, like 4 races ago. Actually, Scott won.
Yeah.
But I knew that he started way in the back.
Yeah.
He was in an accident. He pitted in like lap, I don't know, 8 or something because I saw on TV. But then, I suddenly saw that the 9 was leading. I was like, okay, that's it. That's done. Whenever he's leading, he wins.
Right. It seems like he doesn't like to lead, though. He likes to make a little challenge for himself. It's like, what if I get hit in the opening lap and then fight it feels like he likes to, fight when he's, fight from behind. I guess, did you watch Laguna Seca back? Like, did you know how chaotic it was when you were in the race, or did you have to watch it back?
No. So I didn't know it was that chaotic.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're like, whoa, I missed a lot.
Yeah, I missed a lot.
In the car.
It was a bit chaotic for me, but I didn't know it was that bad.
Right. Had you ever been in a race where the safety car needed to refuel because they had to be out in the track so many times?
Well, it happened to us in like 2021, I think, or 2020. Yeah, in St. Pete. But that's wild. I mean, there was like 30% or 40% of safety cars.
So, and how devastated are you when you're on such a good strategy? Like, is that the worst feeling? Like, how do you not become homicidal when you're like leading the race, like you were in Laguna?
Yeah.
And they're like, you go
the
from Swedish guys crashed or whatever, and you're just, your whole race is fucked.
Yeah, you go from 1st to 15th. We went.
Yeah, it's so confusing for like someone who watches F1 because usually when you're in the lead and you haven't pitted,
correct,
and there's a safety car, you're like, awesome. This,
but
really
we're not allowed to pit on the yellow, so
right.
Yeah, man, I was like, no, come on. I got a bit mad because I thought that we could have done something differently as a team, but then they told me on the radio, no, like we still had like 4 more laps to go, which that's a lot of fuel that you would need to make up if you wanted to pit early. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah.
And how do you, when you're like 2 laps down, how do you not just give up? I don't get those guys who are like, yeah, I'll hang out. Like,
I mean, 2 laps to go, depending on the track, it's like impossible to get, but 1 lap down, it's nothing, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like on a road course, it's tough. Yeah. But on the ovals, it's super easy to get it.
That's my favorite, is when you guys do like this. Like,
yes.
Like your whole life depends on these guys running to you to get your car started that are not on your team.
Yes, they are not.
So
it's the same for everybody. Yeah.
I know, and it's
and you're like, please
help me
do it fast, so I don't lose a lap.
You got to be nice to those guys.
Yeah. Wait, in terms of your transition, I mean, I would assume that you had either 0 or very little oval experience before coming over to the States. Like
0, yeah.
Yeah, what was that transition like? Like, was that how do you still feel like, whoa, every time you do it, like this is crazy, or do you feel comfortable in it?
Yeah, I still struggle with it. I haven't won an oval race yet. So we won 2 championships and no oval race. So we've been in the podium. We've been close at the Indy 500, obviously. But it's still tough for me. I've done road racing since I was 5 in go-karts. And I only started oval racing like 4 years ago. So it's tough for me to learn how the car feels there, what I need from the car, and what can I do during the races. But we're getting there. So
it feels like it should be easier, but I know that it's not.
It's tough. It's very tough.
Like, it looks really easy.
It looks easy. I agree with that.
Because what seems hardest for me is memorizing all the turns.
So just to memorize 4 or 2?
No. I'm saying with the road course.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can memorize 4 turns.
No, so when you go to ovals, it's like easy, right?
Yeah, it's like only 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's
it's like when it's 12 million turns, it feels like it would be harder for me.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough because of the ovals. You need to feel the car on the edge, and you don't brake. So it's just a different mindset on how you drive the cars.
And you have the roll bar, right? You've got to adjust with the weights and all that, right?
Yeah, so we have also on the road and street courses. So we have front and rear anti-roll bar, and we can adjust inside the cockpit, and we also have weight jacker. That's what we have only on the ovals, which basically changes the weights of the car.
Okay, gotcha. Now for a really serious question.
Really serious one?
Really
Go
serious
ahead.
Question. Yeah. Hard-hitting question. Okay. You and Max Verstappen are both really huge, dominant champions. You have that in common, but you also have one other thing in common. You both have older partners.
Yes.
Is that the secret?
I think so. Experience. Experience gives you experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to have a wingman that's just has a little more.
No, but honestly, I don't know. And it's not something that you look for or you think about it, but it just it happened, and it was it's actually very easy because she's able to go with me to all the races and understand everything that we do, understand that it's a job, that it's not just for fun. And so it's for me it's a 10 out of 10. So
wow. Not like where are we eating later, where are we going tonight. It's
take a picture here.
Yeah, take a picture here.
Yes.
She's locked in.
Yes.
I think Kelly Piquet might have a little bit of that. Take a picture here, take a picture there, but I just couldn't help but make that connection. That maybe that's the secret.
Maybe that's a secret.
Young champions
about it.
Young champions, there's a maturity to be a champion as a young person.
Behind them. Yeah.
And we understand you're expecting a child, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, end of November. Yeah.
I've heard as a racer that's the dumbest thing you can do.
I look at Scott Dixon.
That's a 10th.
10th faster, right? I mean, Scott has 3 kids.
Okay.
And look.
Well, he likes to challenge himself.
I know.
It was getting easy.
So imagine with one, it's easy, right?
Yeah, right.
With only one kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Have you heard that? Have you heard that whole thing?
I heard a lot of bullshit around. Yeah. So, whatever. I'll be happier. I'll be a happier person. So I'll be faster.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's like, do you when you have a kid, do you feel like you'll be more? You don't know yet, but do you imagine you'll be more risk averse or
risk averse for like
when you drive or
for crashing and stuff?
Yes.
No, come on.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, come on, come on.
Do you think you'll want your child to get into racing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Why not?
I mean, if she wants, yes.
Do you know that?
Yeah, it's gonna be a girl.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
If she wants, yeah, but I don't want.
Sure.
Because it's a hard.
So if she wants to, you'll be like, I
Are you sure?
I low key forbid you.
I'll be like, are you sure? 100% sure.
And what will you tell her? Will you give her the reasons against it?
No. I mean, if she wants to try, let's go. Yeah, I'll be happy. But I'm not gonna encourage it. I think it's tough. It's not easy. It's expensive. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
And the chances to making it and to have fun with it, they are very slight. I think I'm very, very lucky.
So do you look back at your parents, be like, "What were you thinking, letting me do this?"
No, we actually turn around and be like, "How did we make it?"
Right.
Yeah. But my mom still doesn't like it, obviously.
Right.
My dad loves it, and we love it.
What was their attitude when you decided to when you showed this interest in it and it was about being more than just a hobby? You're like, let's see if I can make a career out of this. Like I know my dad has this phrase that he used when I was a kid. If I would do something that was like kind of risky physically or something, and he would tell my mom, he said, you can be nervous, just don't transfer the tension. Don't transfer it on to the kid.
The kid.
Did you feel that from your parents? Like what's been their attitude through everything?
No, so obviously my mom, I knew that she didn't love it, but she would always support me. Like, hey, that's what you want? Yeah, okay, just go. So I know that when I'm racing, she's not having fun, like she's tensioned and worried. My dad is different. He's like worried about the how are you going to win?
He's like, you left a few tenths on the corner there.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have braked a little later there.
Well, Portland, we win the championship, we win the race. I do just 2 donuts because I was worried about the weight. If you burn too much tire, you can lose a lot of weight. And I didn't want to get disqualified afterwards.
Right.
So I just did 2, just a little bit, but not too much.
Yes.
And then I said, hey, I was like, hey, did you like the donuts? He was back in Spain and he was like, you only did 1.5. And I was like, come on. I thought it was okay. Yeah. And we won the race. You didn't say
all year. You do 1.5 donuts?
After the year that we did. Exactly.
Raised you wrong.
Well, you made up for it in Laguna, right?
Yeah, I did.
You made up for it there, yeah.
A lot.
By the way, Glenn does transfer the tension.
Oh yeah, he does. No, it's a noble goal. Oh, really? Whether they can achieve that goal, unclear.
We had a house party at his house, and we were caught. And the tension was transferred.
Yes, that is true.
Oh, so you're a coffee connoisseur. You used to own a coffee shop?
I used to own a coffee shop with my wife, and we sold it in 21.
Okay, was there iced coffee there or no?
Yes.
See, everywhere I go in Europe, there's no iced coffee.
I know. It was like an American-style coffee shop in Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, I would always want to go to Starbucks when I was my girlfriend in Europe, and she'd be like, no, let's go to this place. And I'm like, I just know that Starbucks will have
iced coffee,
what I need. It's hot. And I go to this place, and they'll just put 1 glass of ice into like a scalding hot
it's
espresso,
the worst thing ever.
And they'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is ice like a precious commodity in Europe?
Yes. Yeah, but here, honestly, it's too much. In America, you ask for ice and they bring you a bucket like, here's the ice.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go.
Right.
So in Europe, yes, it's very pricey.
So
I don't know.
So how do you like your coffee?
I like just black coffee.
Just black coffee.
Yes, but I also like it iced, just like cold brew or something.
So what's your favorite chain? Do you have a chain that you like or in America? Where do you like your coffee in America?
Well, so there's a really small coffee shop in front of our house in Indy.
Okay.
We go there. It's not a chain, it's just one. So a chain, I mean, a part of Starbucks, but
do you have a chain? Like, I feel like Pete's is pretty good. Do you like Pete's coffee?
Oh, Pete's?
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Judge. No, you have to go to a chain, I'm saying.
Yeah, I would go to Starbucks before Pete's.
Okay.
I think.
Interesting. No, yeah, I like Starbucks because you can get it in a Trenta. You ever get a Trenta?
No, I did not. I know what it is, especially here.
You speak Spanish, I think you know what a Trenta is.
Yeah.
30. Yeah.
I saw it actually here in Venice Beach.
Yes.
For the first time.
Yeah. You can go to Spain and ask for a Trenta and they don't know what you're talking about. They're like,
obviously, no. We don't even have venti sometimes.
You don't have ventis?
But do you eat like a Trenta sometimes? You're like, oh, today I feel like a Trenta.
That's every day, bro.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I have multiple Trentas.
No way.
Of
what? Black coffee or what?
Black iced coffee with a little bit of milk. And then someone will be like, "Are you able to sleep?" I'm like, "This is to keep me from passing out at the table." At the table.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what living in Los Angeles.
It's my one and only vice.
Yeah, and Diet Coke. Diet Coke.
Do you have any other vices? What are your vices?
I used to. Well, I would say just coffee. Yeah, I need coffee.
What about fried chicken?
No. We stopped that. That was in 21. Yeah,
it was not sustainable.
No, it was not sustainable at all. Yeah. And Americans took it too seriously.
Yeah.
Fans would show up with fried chicken or interviews with fried chicken. It was all fried chicken.
Right. You're like, I got to shut this down. You guys. Yeah. It's the ice and the fried chicken American things that can be it's a little much.
My dad was literally choking to death in Portugal because he kept asking for water and they weren't giving him water. And then he was choking to death. And then I was like, "Can we get some water?" And they were like, "Still or sparkling?" I was like, "What the fuck?" In America, they just give you water.
Yeah, we do not in Europe.
Yeah, you gotta it's like a special occasion to get 70% of your body.
Yes.
What do you like about America better than Europe?
Well, one thing I don't like about America is they don't have.
That's not what I asked you.
Bottles of water, and they don't understand when I ask for it.
What do you mean?
I say, "Can I get a bottle of water?"
Yes.
They say, "What?"
Yeah, right.
And I say, "A bottle." of water, and then I have to say bottle of water.
Yeah.
And I keep on changing my accent, and they never understand. How do I need to ask?
Bottled water.
Bottled water.
Yeah.
That's not what I sounded. That's what I sounded.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good. That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, what do I like?
BOTTLED water.
Yeah,
Bottled
I know
water.
how you write it, but
But in a restaurant, they're not going to bring you. Oh, like you want like an Evian or something.
Yeah,
because
sometimes it tastes.
Oh, like you don't want water from a tap.
Exactly.
I think you should. You say you ask for an Evian.
Yeah,
or you ask,
Evian.
and then even if they don't have Evian, they'll know like, oh, well, we have our version
or
of
mineral
Evian,
water.
Mineral water. I never tried.
What do you mean mineral water?
I guess you can do mineral water.
Because when you say bottled water, they think bottle of water, they think you're asking for like a plastic bottle.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Or you say still water. Can I get some still water or mineral water? And then, but not every restaurant has that. I mean, America, they just.
I know. So that's
what's pretty good.
What
do you think of sparkling? Why don't you just order sparkling water?
Yeah, I do. But my wife, for example, she doesn't like sparkling.
Why? Red flag.
Red flag.
Wait, no. What do you like? What do you like?
Cars. I like cars here in America. Big engines. Mm-hmm. Everything is big. I like sizes.
Is there any car you were wanting that's been on the kind of wish list that now with the championship you're like, I'm gonna pull the trigger on that?
No, not yet. I already did in 21. So no, I don't know. I just want like a classic muscle car someday.
Like
like
a Vin
Mustang.
Diesel car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think you do in like a Fast and Furious situation? You think you'd be pretty good at that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
And if you had a crew, who would you pick? Like from the drivers?
From the drivers?
Yeah, who would you pick?
Oh, probably Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, I mean, he would be able to like be in trouble and then get us to the front again.
Yeah. Okay.
He would be a fun ride.
A fun wing. He'd be the Vin to your Paul Walker.
Yes.
I understand.
Anyone else who would like if you had to fill out the team, what other drive? I
would put Joseph.
Yeah,
Joseph and Scott McLaughlin. I think that would be a good car.
The bros, the bus bros.
Driver you'd least like to date your sister?
None.
None of them.
None are gonna date my sister.
None of them.
Yes.
Okay.
None.
Okay.
Do you know what the love languages are? You heard this term?
Love language?
Love language, no?
Okay.
What's that?
It's like an American psychological. Interesting. You talked about with your wife about it. It's interesting. Brian, explain.
Well, the love languages are it's like how you give and receive love. So there's physical touch.
Okay.
Quality time.
Okay.
Gifts. Acts of service.
What does that mean? Acts of service.
Acts of service, like I made you dinner, or I took out the trash for you, or I doing things for your partner.
Okay. Yes.
And words of affirmation.
Like compliments, like, oh, you look really good today.
Okay.
Yeah. So words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, quality time, or acts of service. What would you say your love language is?
I would say it's pretty high, except for the gifts. I'm not good at gifts, and I don't normally do gifts. All the rest, I would say I'm pretty high. I would give and receive all of those. Yes.
Okay.
If you had to choose any one specifically?
Oh, so one in specifically.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
No, I'm looking at the I don't know. Probably compliments, I would say.
Words of affirmation.
Interesting.
That's what Pato said.
Is it?
Pato said words of affirmation.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Mine is words of affirmation and physical touch, just for you to know.
No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm
and mine's acts of service. Just for every
you
for
are
Matt,
not around
really
here,
for
so.
Matt. For Matt to know, that's really for Matt. So in terms of like this off season, obviously you've got your baby coming. I mean, it seems like probably everything's geared toward that. Are you all set up at the house? You have like the crib and everything. You ready to go?
We only have the grip. That's the only thing we have. And we have it here in US, but we're going to have the baby in Spain just because obviously we have all the doctors that we know and all the family if we need help.
And they're not as expensive.
For sure. No. Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be awesome.
And next year for the season, do you think is she going to be on the road with you? Like do you know like what the schedule? Yeah.
Well, maybe not all the races.
Sure.
But we have a bus. We go to all the races, so it's easy to sleep there and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty much.
Are you like really excited to meet her?
Yeah, obviously. Come on.
Yeah.
How is she gonna look? Is she gonna have my nose or my?
I hope she has your nose.
I mean, I have a big nose.
Yes, so do I. I think a woman with a
big nose,
and she pulls it off.
With my nose, I don't know if it's gonna be.
You have a great nose, dude.
Oh, thank you. Don't stop it. Stop it. Here.
So here's what we do: is we champion like the Daniel Ricciardos of the world, like the guys with the noses.
That's a big nose.
You're like,
you went very.
You're like, slow down, bro, slow down.
don't put me in the Daniel Ricciardo category.
That's very high.
Yes. Kelly Piquet has a strong nose.
That's true.
Yeah, but it blends.
That blends nice.
Yes.
So your first concert was a Pitbull concert. Can you explain to me how that was your first concert?
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. As a kid, you
never had any.
I never had like concerts. I never went to concerts.
And your first one was Pitbull. How did you feel about that?
It was pretty cool, actually.
You're like, I think I nailed it. I'm done.
And it's over. It was my first one, and my last one.
It's gonna be your last one.
So far.
Okay.
So far.
Mr. Worldwide, dude. Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, it's Mr. Worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some Twitter questions for you.
Twitter
questions or X questions. Excuse me.
All right.
This is from Holly. Of all the races you won, which was your favorite and why?
I would say Laguna Seca 2022. It was the last race of the season, and we won by 30 seconds, and that felt really, really good.
Yeah. And if this is from Ratatouille.
All right. We like it.
If you could redo any race you've ever done in any series, which one would it be and why?
I would probably redo Indy 500 2021. I finished second against Elio. I would redo those last laps to try and beat him.
How do you think you fell short that? Like, what would you do differently?
I didn't have the experience. And I think he was able to manage the traffic that was coming to us, or we were going to the traffic. And he timed my pass perfectly. Like, it was amazing. So I would do something different to try and avoid that.
So if I put you in a time machine, put you back in that car, you think you could get him this time? Or
I think I could try and get him. I don't know if I would.
I see.
I think I would change something. Maybe he would come up with something else, but I would do something different for sure.
This is also from Ratatouille. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth, always. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you guys?
I'm a crunchy. I'm crunchy.
Really? I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
It's a big difference, dude.
I mean, I like them both. I see the virtues in both.
Yeah, I don't like
Not so discriminating.
If you had to choose right now, Matt.
Probably smooth.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're just saying that because you're in the room with Alex, dude. Don't lie.
Yeah, if he said crunchy, I might have said crunchy. Okay. I just read a book on Charles V. Who's your favorite Spanish monarch? Do you have one?
No.
Okay.
I was not ready for that question.
I don't know. I literally just read a book on the King of Spain.
And what did you think?
Sick. He was
really.
He ran shit. He was the King of Spain, Netherlands, Burgundy, Italy. He ran everything.
That's
Charles
what I want.
V. That was like that dude. He was the Alex Palou of the medieval times, dude. And then his son Philip II came at Elizabeth with the Spanish Armada, and they were like, blah! And then Spain. That was Spain at like the high point.
And then
Elizabeth took you guys down.
We're coming back.
You're coming back?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a renaissance. You got the Women's World Cup.
See?
Alcaraz and Wimbledon.
He's He's on it.
He's on it.
He's on it.
We got Palou in IndyCar. When you walk around Spain, are there people in Spain that
No. I mean, if I walk around my area, yes, but no. If I walk around middle of Madrid, probably
Interesting.
Like not maybe 1-2 persons, but they have to follow motorsport a lot.
Yeah, it's like I went to Madrid, and I'm like, okay, where are the statues to Fernando Alonso? They weren't there.
No, there's nothing.
I was really upset.
You wanted the Fernando Alonso statue?
He's like my favorite F1 driver. Oh, I love him.
He's good.
Do you have any have you ever had any Spanish connection with him or?
Yeah, I spoke with him quite a lot. So he did 2021 Indy 500.
Yes.
Right.
We were there. Like I was there as well.
Yeah.
So we kept a little bit of a relationship. So yeah.
Is he in your phone?
Yes.
Oh my God. Lock the door. How often do you talk to him?
Not often.
Okay.
No. Only when
what? Like you meet a really cool podcaster?
No, so when I won like the championship or when I
Did he shoot you a
went to
congratulations
an F1 race or something.
Mm-hmm. So he shot you a text recently, huh?
Not him directly this time.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Well, I have goosebumps.
It's
Next question.
2024.
Yes.
You winning the championship again? Is that what?
I'll do my best. Yeah, I'll try.
That seems pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Where's like the 500? Do you feel like in terms of like, is the 500 the thing that feels like it's going to be the next kind of, feather in the cap?
Yeah, obviously it's something that we don't have, but if I have to choose between one or the other, I think I still won the championship.
Interesting.
Because it's like a 1 year evaluation, right? It's not only a 1 month or 1 day.
Of course.
Like you were there, you know that there's a lot of stuff happening. Anybody can win that race. Anybody that is racing, yet you couldn't. You were not racing.
I don't know if a yellow comes out at the right time. I'm going an alternate strategy. I've been in a pace car. Let me just say that, and I felt like a newborn baby. That's tough. That's a tough.
Did you do the 2-seater ride?
Yeah, I did the 2-seater ride.
And was it fun?
It's tough on the neck, but it was cool. It was cool. At Thermal.
Oh, Thermal.
At Thermal. Yeah, no. So I feel like, I maybe on the right strategy.
Are you going back to Spain? Is what's the plan now? Is it you're here for a little bit longer and then going back to Spain?
No, so I'm here until end of this month. Then we fly to Spain. Mm-hmm. I leave Esther, my wife, there, and then I come back in middle of October to test the 24 car, and then I'm back to Spain and race there for Christmas and the baby.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on
Thank you.
The championship and the child.
Thank you.
Yeah. We on this pod, we start with a "What's up, Vankas?" We end with a "Goodbye, Vankas." Do you think you could honor us with a "Goodbye, Vankas"?
I think so, but all at the same time, right? Otherwise, if it's only me,
we're all going to say it, but it's going to be like in a round. We'll say it right after you.
Bang.
Okay, but I cannot be the first one.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, wait, let it. What if we say it's a race?
Yeah.
Then will you be the first?
Then I'm like, yeah.
Goodbye, Vankas.
Goodbye, Vankas.
Goodbye, Vankas.
Yes.